Hello there guys, my name is Mr. Yorkie's World, welcome back to the channel, and today's video is actually going to be one of the many requested areas that people have asked me to feature and show off in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. And it's also an area that I personally have been wanting to do for a very long time. So we're in the Cessna 172 again today, and we're going to be going from Venice Marco Polo Airport. We're going to be taking a look at Venice itself, which hopefully this flight plan here will allow us to get a good view. And we'll probably take the autopilot out and have a little bit of a closer look as well before we return back to the plan. And we're going to be landing at this little airstrip here, which is San Nicolò in Venice, if that's the correct way of pronouncing it. So, for the purpose of this flight, what I have done is I've set the weather to clear skies because I want to get a good view of Venice itself and to show it off to what it currently looks like in the simulator. Now, bear in mind that updates are being rolled out all the time, so there is a very good chance that we will get an update to things that aren't quite there just yet. So clear skies, and we're going to be departing at 7:30 AM local time. So let's jump in and see what Venice looks like in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay, so here we are on the ground at Marco Polo. I've just set the baro just to make sure that that's set to the correct setting, basically. And what we're going to do is just configure the autopilot before we go ahead and depart. So Flight Director, I'm going to set the altitude to just literally 1,000 feet because that's all I want to be at. So we'll switch on the nav modes. And we will go ahead and set our vertical speed to a 600 feet per minute climb, which will allow us to hopefully get a nice sort of smooth climb, but not too smooth, not too quick, and not too slow. A nice external view. There's always a little bit of stutter to begin with when you pan around, so I'm just getting that out of the way right now, and then it eases off like that. It's nice and smooth again. 60 FPS. The FPS counter is in the bottom right for those people who will more than likely be asking in the comments section. I always have the FPS visible in the bottom right, usually anyway. Right. So autopilot's been set up ready. We can release the parking brake. Again, this is what I absolutely love about this simulator, is the fact that you can literally jump into a flight, everything's all set up, you're on the runway, and you can get going basically straight to your destination. So looking good, I'm going to pull back and rotate. There we go. Now Venice is off to the left there somewhere. That's hopefully where we'll be going. That's if I don't make a hash of this takeoff roll. Let's turn on the autopilot and let that take some of the strain. I should have been turning right anyway, so it's a good job we veered that way actually. And we can take in some of the scenery from of the airport as well. I don't think this is a handcrafted airport. In fact, no, it's not. It's not a handcrafted airport. But it really looks lovely. I mean, especially for 7:30 in the morning, this looks absolutely fantastic with the lighting and everything, the environmentals. A little bit of stutter, but again, that's one of the other issues that's going to be ironed out very, very shortly. But look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. And the art of things is, or the art of it is, that you can go up here, click Showcase, and because I'm on autopilot, I can zoom around in the drone and get some really good visuals. Like that. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. The surrounding areas really do look nice. You can get sort of like a wing view as well. If you weren't happy with the wing view that you got, you can set one up like this, and then, although you do sink on the floor, sink to the floor, which is a bit weird. But look at that. Look at that landscape. Again, we've got Venice itself, which is over there. That's where we're going to be turning towards very, very shortly. But this is just absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Again, I'm not sure whether this is 100% accurate to what Venice looks like. all the surrounding areas of Venice actually look like. But overall, we know that there are going to be some improvements and stuff like that, so I'm not too fussed about it. I know we can expect a lot of improvements to happen. Let's just ease down on that power a little bit, because I don't want to be going too quick so that we can't see any of the gorgeous Venice scenery. And again, we'll probably deviate from the predefined route that we've got on the GPS, just so that we can take a closer look at everything. The only reason I really set up this GPS route is so that we could do this, so I could look around without having to fly the aircraft as well. It's so much easier to be able to set up a route for that. You can still see some anomalies happening down there, specifically with the boats and stuff that aren't actually modelled like they should be. But as I always say, I think the small minority of people out there actually overlook the amazing simulator that we've been provided with, and they only sort of focus on the small things, like the things that are missing, which they can always be added, specifically by third parties, so I wouldn't worry about them. Overall, we've got a massive, massive product that is a hell of a lot better than what we've ever had before. So pretty shortly we're going to make another left turn. Here we go. And this is where we're going to start to see Venice a little bit closer up. And again, what I will try to do is take out the autopilot as well, so we can see a little bit sort of close up, or closer. Because the current flight plan that we've got is set to fly around it, not really over it, so it would be nice to fly over it. In fact, let's go to synchronize the current heading, and we can go to heading select, and let's set the heading as follows, and let's get a really good view of this. Sun's in the way a little bit, but we can alter that if need be. But here it comes. That boat looks like it's sunk. These boats are a little bit better, but they're not perfect. And I absolutely hate not being able to sort of get around obstacles. You can't move the camera any further up or down now because we're trapped by the cockpit, but look at this. This is how amazing Venice looks in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It really is truly remarkable. When I sort the views out, I mean, look at that, look at the detail. Absolutely beautiful. We've got some popping in, but that's probably because it's a very highly populated area that we're going through, really. But this is just unreal. Absolutely unreal. So if we look ahead of us, we're actually approaching the landing strip. In fact, it's down there. That's where we're actually... I can't go any further back because of the camera restrictions. So let me just go back and we'll take another look from a slightly different angle of what Venice looks like. I just love being able to hop in the Cessna and just do some of these amazing sort of tours or flights around the actual scenery, because there's not many aircraft. I mean, I tried it in the TBM and the TBM was a little bit too fast. The airspeed, you know, it's better to be in like a smaller aircraft like the Cessna. that allows you to get to sort of lower speeds without, you know, having too much of an issue. But this is beautiful. Let's just go and change the time of day a little bit. Maybe sort of like... See, I love the evening time, but we'll leave it sort of like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll get a little bit closer. Oops. Bit of a lag spike there. Unfortunately, that's one of the major issues that the sim currently has, is the lag spikes. And usually I'd see people editing stuff like this out, but I certainly wouldn't. Because I like to show off, so that's what you have to deal with in the sim sometimes. It does have lag spikes. Exactly the same as what we've seen in previous simulators. If you've got the patience to actually sit back and relax, you should be okay. But look at this. Let's just go to an external view so I can actually see what's going on. There's the aircraft. Look at that for a view. This is how gorgeous it looks. And if I go to active pause, if it'll even let me go to active pause, no, it won't. Okay, I'll shut up. Usually there's an option to go into active pause mode. There we go. So, I'll go back into the external view again. And camera drone. So the aircraft, what active pause basically is the aircraft is still sort of flying around, but it's not going anywhere. The engine's still going and everything. So you're basically hovering, so it allows you to go in and actually see the scenery a little bit better. So let's just go to speed up the drone. And when we get closer, things start to load in, because obviously we've been at a higher altitude. And unfortunately, when you get this close, things don't look as good as what they do up there, which is understandable. But it's still nice. If I sort of increase the altitude a little bit here, you can it's still very nice to have a look round and to see the different things that are available in the simulator. Now, I don't know whether active pause might cause these poor textures. There we go, they're a little bit better. Not as bad as what they were. But this just looks absolutely unreal. Look at that. That's an amazing view. And we could even make it sort of even better if we... Oops, what the hell am I doing here, getting all these windows up? If we look at it at that, sort of that time, look at that. Where you've got the sunset. That just looks like one of the photos that you'd see on the internet of sort of Venice in the sort of either early morning or late night. Late evening. I don't even know what I'm saying today. But yeah, that is absolutely gorgeous. There we are, just hovering above Venice like that. But it really is the detail in this simulator, despite the problems that it's got. And I say this to everybody, and I will defend this sim to the end of time, because we've had exactly the same issues in previous simulators, and we've always managed to overcome them with updates, bug fixes and stuff like that. So if you don't see something that looks, or if you do see something that looks different to what it should look like, chances are Microsoft are actually going to be sorting that out, or Asobo will. So I wouldn't worry, but look at this for a view. The sunset in the background. Absolutely unreal. So let's go back and set the time back to what it was. Or we'll set it a little bit later, in fact, just because we can still do VFR. Let's go back up to our aircraft. You can see the engine still chugging away. So we'll undo the pause, and that's not supposed to happen. Okay. That's very strange. That's one of the bugs, unfortunately, that can happen. Because we've just come out of an active pause. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how not to fly the Cessna, in case you're wondering. Let's just increase the power there. And the autopilot's not going to work because I've not put anything in terms of vertical speed. So now it will work, or maybe not. No. So this is another bug, unfortunately. Sometimes the autopilot will work, sometimes it won't, but it allows us to do this, which is, I'm going to do some manual flying, and we're going to go for a runway 23 approach at Lima India Papa Victor. I can't remember the actual name, but we're going to try and land. So that, ladies and gentlemen, again is, when I'm talking about bugs, I'm talking about stuff like that. That no matter how hard you try, they will always be there. Bugs are going to be there. And I think a lot of the YouTube community, and specifically the flight simulation community, need to get used to that. That these bugs are going to be around for a very long time. And just look how long it took for people to get sort of full control over P3D and, you know, FSX and X-Plane, just to make things work in an acceptable manner. Sometimes it takes a lot of doing. So as I said, at the moment, this is the map. You can see that we have got... I can't actually click and scroll, but there we go. Click and drag. But I can see it on little nav map and see where we are. But that was absolutely fantastic. And again, this is one of the many requests that I've had that I intend on fulfilling. So we're actually flying above the place that we're going to be landing, which is there. So I'm going to take a right turn. I'm going to go for the first notch of flaps just to help with the speed, and I'm going to start that descent. Because then I'm going to come back on myself. Again, we're all in, we're still in VFR conditions. We've got good visibility. Let's try and drop some of that altitude off. But I love to include stuff like this, you know, the long lag spikes, the issues with the autopilot and stuff like that. I love to include stuff like this in the videos because some people don't do that, and it looks as if the simulator is fantastic and it's completely sort of error-free, and then people start complaining because they've had a go at it themselves and they're like, oh, well, this happened and I didn't know that was going to happen. You know, I didn't know this didn't work properly. But yeah, it's a new simulator, so it's not going to work 100%. I'm going to drop some more of that altitude off. And I'm going to go for the next notch of flaps as well. I'm going to start a left turn. But I really do enjoy looking at these areas in the simulator just to see what they actually look like. I'm going to drop some more altitude off. And some speed as well. Do a little bit of trim. And I should be able to see... There it is. I'm going to go to final flaps now, nice and early. Look at that. Look at that for a view. Absolutely gorgeous. That's the airstrip over there. I can see it nice and clearly. What a time to be a flight simulation enthusiast.
500.
So we're near enough fully lined up now. Not too concerned if I don't get it straight in the centre line, because it's a field anyway, so... And here we go, over what would be the threshold. I'm going to go to idle power. If we can't crash it into the ground. There we go. Applying those brakes. And parking brake is set. There we go. We've officially landed again after taking off, which is amazing considering the fact that we almost crashed. But this is one of the examples of how... Let's just bring the flaps up. One of the examples of how you can land literally anywhere. So let's go to showcase. Let's reset the position so it finds us correctly. Focus mode, and here we are. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to... I don't remember the name of it. I actually don't remember. I think it's... what is it called? I don't even know what it's called. Lima India Papa Victor. I've got a terrible memory. Let me just check on little nav map and see what it's called, if it's even going to... No, it's not going to show me the name of it on there anyway. But this has been an absolutely amazing video. I hope you enjoyed seeing Venice in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Look at that view as we end the video. I am very, very impressed. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any other areas that you would like me to look at in Flight Simulator 2020, let me know in the comments. I have got a spreadsheet which is constantly being updated with everybody's requests. And at some point, regardless of how many other people do it, I will keep my promise and get these areas shown off in the simulator at some point. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.